and we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today, as always. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Takes by Fans and be a part of the conversation, and come watch live daily, noon Eastern at twitch.tv/takesbyfans, or you can go to our official website, takesbyfans.com. Go to the watch tab, and whenever we are live on the site. We are live right now, an hour before kickoff on Sunday, baby, and we are live on the site. So it is that simple. Just however you decide to watch, just make sure you're watching for all your daily sports content. Alrighty, y'all, today is Sunday. We are 59 minutes out from kickoff of a busy NFL Sunday. So today on Sundays, we talk a lot throughout the entire week. So we use our Sunday show to just kind of collect all of our thoughts, our final predictions on what we think is going to happen today, happen in tomorrow's game too, Monday Night Football tomorrow. So we've got it all covered. Two quick things to break down. Nothing big though. Here we are. The Raiders and the Saints, they had a little problem. The Raiders had one offensive lineman have COVID, and then the Saints, they had Emmanuel Sanders with the COVID. So all the tests came back today, and they all came back negative. So everybody is good to go. No cancellation of games on this Sunday. So that's absolutely fantastic. We are now, 3 straight weeks of pretty good news with regarding COVID. No games having to get canceled or rescheduled, if I remember correctly. So pretty good. Another week, 3 straight pretty good weeks. But there are going to be some names that are going to be missing out. As I just said, Emmanuel Sanders, Bills tight end Dawson Knox, he also tested positive for COVID-19. He's going to miss out, but the Bills should still be playing the Jets today. So some teams are going to be feeling, the absence of, some decent players. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders is a great name. Dawson Knox is a great name. But, hopefully their teams just aren't, one-trick ponies. We know the Saints are because they barely throw to Emmanuel Sanders. So they don't really need him. So every game is scheduled to go on without a hitch, so the entire slates of today's games are good to go. So, let's just jump right into it. We'll go over every matchup. We'll see if the lines change. I already see this Bills and Jets ones came down. We can kind of guess why, because the Bills have a lot of COVID players, and Sam Darnold is officially playing. So let's start it here with the Bills and Jets. Bills are still -10. They should still cover this one pretty easy. Yes, Sam Darnold is playing, but that's really not going to be a factor. The Bills' defense is going to bottle the Jets up. The Jets have nothing offensively. Their best wide receiver, Jamison Crowder, he is out. So, yes, they get Sam Darnold back, but he's got nobody to throw to. So their offense is still going to be trash. Their defense is still going to be trash. They still have Adam Gase, folks. This team is not good. On the worst, the worst teams in the league, you've got Washington, and you probably got the Giants kind of pretty evenly up here, and then you have the Jets. It's this much of a gap between the Jets team, and the Washington and Giants teams. I mean, the Jets are truly a trash franchise. You don't if you're a Jets player, you probably go in every Sunday thinking there's no way you can win the game, where, Washington, they can probably pull out a surprise or two. Daniel Jones, he keeps you in the game. He just can't, deliver the ball in the fourth quarter, unfortunately. But this Jets team, you cannot win with this squad. There's nobody that can score. There's nobody that can coach. It's just unfortunate. So the Jets are still +10. They're at home. That's the silver lining for them. But, I mean, this Bills team, they have to get back on track after coming off 2 losses. I expect them to put up a good performance offensively. Josh Allen needs to really kind of come in this game and throw at least 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, for him to kind of get back on track, fuel his confidence even more, get back track on momentum. Build that kind of repetition with his receivers again, because these last 2 weeks have not really been good for them. And, a lot of people are doubting them. I'm doubting them. I knocked them out of the top 10 in our power rankings. We cannot buy the Bills if they're not putting up a good fight against the good teams in the league. I don't care. It just sucks. The Bills are in a tough spot this week. because they have lost 2 games, and like if they beat this Jets team, do we really care? Like it's just a bad situation for the Bills. If they lose, I mean, we'll never forgive them, and if they win, we really don't care. So not a good week for the Bills to be in, but this is just a momentum builder week, and hopefully they can take advantage of it. I think they do. They're pretty good against the below average teams, and the Jets are the most below average team you can get in the league right now. So Bills really should have no problem tonight or today. It's only a 1 o'clock kickoff, so they're just on the road. Josh Allen, expect him to have a good game. Unfortunately, one of his tight ends, Dawson Knox, is not playing, but I think, the Bills or the Jets defense probably won't be guarding Stephon Diggs too well because they don't have any defensive pieces, so expect that man to eat all game. But Bills -10, we endorse it. We endorse it. Alrighty, Packers. Actually, before we keep going, let's remind what our official picks were this week. If you're ever in doubt of what we're actually picking, you can just go to our website, takesbyfans.com, go to the daily picks tab, and whatever today's date is, click on that, and it will give you our picks. So here we go. This is what we have going into today. We've got Texans +3.5, Chargers -7.5, and Saints -7.5. We believe these are the best bets of the week. We'll talk about them a little bit more when we get to those games, but those are our 3 locks. These are all going to hit, so go ahead and bet your house on this because you can buy a second house with your winnings, so you're all good there. All 3 of these games will hit. All 3 of these, this parlay will hit. So these are our locks for a reason, folks. They're 100% guaranteed. And then our 99% guarantee section, we've got the Bears +5.5, Falcons -2.5, and Raiders +4. So this is what we're rocking with going into today. Feeling good, feeling confident. So here we go. As I just said, Texans, they are in our lock, so the line has come down a little bit to 3. You obviously want to get over that 3 for the 3.5. Just little extra safety cushion. Houston win by 3, or the Houston lose by 3. You only had 3. You just push, unfortunately. But with that extra half, you get the win. So, Packers, Houston. I like this Houston Texans team. I think they're very good offensively. Deshaun Watson is playing free now that Bill O'Brien's gone. They're moving the ball. They're getting the ball into the hands of literally every one of their 4 wide receivers that are A-tier receivers. Folks, this Texans team is very good. They scored 30 without their head coach. Then they went and scored 36 without their head coach. So this offense has no problem putting up the points at home. They're going to be even better. Figuring out, getting more used to Romeo Crennel as the interim head coach, who may win the starting head coach job, if I'm being honest. He's been in the league forever. He's a well-respected coach, so I can definitely see him getting the starting job if they continue to, be competitive in games and win games. I think they can definitely have a great chance of beating the Packers tonight. Straight up, I think I like the Texans. Aaron Rodgers coming off a not so great game. Let's see how he bounces back. But they're also on the road, and you're giving me the Texans, who I think, they're very comparable to this Green Bay offense. High-powered, great quarterback arm. They both have it all. So Packers are missing their running back, Aaron Jones, this game. That is definitely going to hurt them. They usually did a pretty good job of mixing up the run and the pass game, so they're both effective. I'm talking about having 100-yard rushers when Aaron Rodgers is throwing for 350 yards. That's fantastic. That's spreading the ball around. That's winning multiple ways, and the Packers can do that. So with Aaron Jones being out, definitely going to hurt them a little bit. You could definitely, put that to why the line dropped that half a point, why the Packers went from -3.5 to -3, because of Aaron Jones being out. You can definitely attribute that to that being that. But I love the Texans here. They're playing loose. They're playing free. They're at home. Deshaun Watson is feeling a little cheated from last week. I think that can definitely be taken into account of why the Texans are going to be even better today. They didn't even get a chance to possess the ball in overtime. That frustrates people, man. I'm telling you. If you go into overtime and you don't even get a chance to prove on offense why you deserve to win the game, you're going to kind of, show it in the next game, because that's the only opportunity you have to show it, right? That's your next opportunity. Your next time you touch the ball, you're going to be, even angrier. So I love the Texans here. The 3.5 is an absolute beast of a bet. I would even, dare with the straight up. You get the plus 145. I think they can. They're at home, folks, and the offenses are comparable. I'm not ready to trust Aaron Rodgers just quite yet. 2 interceptions last week, not looking so good. I mean, as soon as he threw that, he kind of mentally checked out of the game. I really don't like that. They came off the bye. Just everything didn't sit right with me in that game. We dropped them a ton in our power rankings, dropped them from 2 to 6, I think. So really unfortunate what happened last week with the Packers. We'll see if they get back on track, but I'm ready to take advantage of this plus 3 and really the Texans straight up, honestly. Plus 145, you put 500 on that. I mean, you're winning 12.25, bruh, on a one-team bet. That's amazing, truly. So I absolutely love the Texans here, straight up, plus 3. You can't go wrong, and I don't know if the Packers, I think they slip up this week and then start getting back on track when they get back at home, but back-to-back home or road games, I'm not about it with the Packers. Alrighty, the best game of the weekend, folks. I cannot wait to win this. It's a pity that this one's not even on TV. I can't even watch this one on TV. Fox has no game in my area, and unfortunately, I get stuck with the Bills and Jets. Truly unfortunate. So we will have to put this Steelers-Titans game on our second screen because it is truly the best game of the day. In our power rankings, this is our number 1 going against our number 3, folks. Both of these teams are truly special. Titans, their offense is amazing. I love what they're doing. I love just their kind of mentality as a team, just tough, physical, everybody buying in. Nobody's a superstar. We're all getting it done together. Absolutely love the vibe from the Titans, and Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill are getting it done on a consistent basis, and it's truly, I mean, this is how you play football, folks. The dominant running game opens up the pass. A decent rollout pass game opens up the misdirection on the run. It's complementary football like we haven't seen before. Titans, I truly love them. Now they're going against the Steelers. I mean, we've called the Steelers being good since preseason, folks, or, the would have been preseason. We love the Steelers team. Big Ben is back, and he's looking like old school Big Ben, and we love it. Not turning the ball over. He's dinking and dunking a little bit, but he's taking, he's taking the chances when he has to. With the deep ball, he's got great receivers. James Washington, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool, who scored 4 touchdowns in one game. What was this, 2 weeks ago? So they have scores everywhere. James Conner getting it done offensively. The Steelers team, I don't think, is as good as the Titans offensively are, but they make up for it on their defensive end. This defense is the best defense in the league, folks. I absolutely love it. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we got Joe Hayden. I mean, they're all over the field at any given moment. They've got, TJ Watt, absolutely fantastic up front, and they just get it done. They held the Browns to 7 points last week, bench Baker Mayfield. I love defenses that are benching starting quarterbacks. Dolphins defense did it to Jimmy Garoppolo. Steelers did it to Baker Mayfield. So we'll see what happens. Something has to give tonight on this game. That is what's going to break my heart. Both of these teams are 5-0. I don't want to penalize either of these teams for losing. I don't want to drop any of these teams. This is the power rankings going into this week. Steelers at 3, Titans at 1. As long as this is a close game and both teams are being competitive and it turns out like a 3-point win for a team, I'm pretty much going to leave them where they are unless there's a blowout. Then there will be a major shakeup, but these two teams are going against, each other. I'm not going to penalize them too hard for losing unless it's a blowout, and I don't foresee it being a blowout. Truthfully, I think the Steelers win. It's just something about the Titans where I know this kind of I'm just waiting for this magic to run out, and I don't feel that way against these other teams like Seattle, like Pittsburgh, like Kansas City. It's just something about this Titans team just because they don't have that superstar. They're rocking with Ryan Tannehill at starting quarterback, and everything that we've been told, we're supposed to say, oh, he's not a great quarterback. He hasn't won the games. He's in his 10th season, and he's only won one playoff game. He's not supposed to be good. We're supposed to be waiting for his magic to run out, but he hasn't yet, and that's why I love them so much. But we'll see what they do tonight. Another home game for them. Absolutely insane. What is this? 3 straight home games against pretty good competition. They had the Bills at home. Now they have the Steelers at home. They had the Houston Texans at home. So kind of got lucky staying at home against all these teams. Not sure what they would have done on the road. We haven't really seen their road game against a good opponent yet this season. So a lot of question marks still to answer about the Titans, but really every week they're answering them and making me feel bad for not recognizing their talent a little earlier. So cannot wait for this game. I hope it's close. I really, really do. For, me who loves the sport and loves talking about it and loves good competition, I just want this game to be really close, come down to the fourth quarter. I want the Steelers defense to have like two turnovers at some point, but I also want Derrick Henry to rush for 200 yards, and I want Ryan Tannehill to really air it out. So I really don't know who I want to root for in this game. I think the Steelers win. If I have to pick a clear winner straight up, I'm going Steelers. I'm taking the 1.5. If I have to bet this game, I'll take the points. I don't care. Both these teams are very good. Both these teams can definitely win this game. So you give me the points and I'll rock with it. Cannot wait for this game. Going to be the best game of the week. I'm looking forward to breaking it down all week. I'll probably only talk about this game for going into next week. Monday we'll talk about this game. Tuesday we'll talk about this game. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and next Sunday we will only focus on Steelers Titans. That's how good this game's going to be. That's how in depth we're going to have to break it down. I truly cannot wait. We're 45 minutes out from this game, folks. I'm ready to rock with it. I'm ready to see who's going to be the best team in the league. This is definitely going to prove it. Whoever wins this game will take the top seed. Even if it's a close game, if it's a 1-point win, I'll jump the Steelers to number 1. I'll move the Titans back to number 2, however it has to go. But whoever wins this game is going to be number 1, in my opinion. Hopefully it's not a blowout, so we don't have to move the loser back too far down. Like I don't want any of these teams falling outside the top 5, to be honest. I'll be honest. But enough about that game. Unfortunately, there's still other games on that aren't getting that are getting more attention than this one. Unfortunately, I don't get it, but hey, unfortunate. Alrighty, let's move on. Browns and Bengals. And does anybody care about this game? I mean, we're going from Steelers and Titans to Browns and Bengals. I mean, two teams that really should not be even getting talked about here. Bengals, they're still taking a little bit more time than people thought they would before they started like winning games kind of consistently. Joe Burrow has, had a 3-point game, and then he's had like a 35-point game, but then he's had a missed game-winning drive game. He's really all over the place. Can't really target down what Joe Burrow is all about in this Bengals squad. And this Browns team just got absolutely obliterated last week with the Steelers. So not buying into Baker Mayfield. You throw it 18 times and you throw 2 interceptions. It's truly unfortunate. Baker Mayfield, I wanted to buy him these first couple weeks, but I mean, Kevin Stefanski is kind of trying to be like Matt Nagy and trying to scheme wins out of bad quarterback play. And it works early, but when teams catch on, oh, we know what you're doing. Oh, you're going to run that because your quarterback can't throw it, so you're going to try and run the reverse to get it into the receiver's hand, because we know that Baker Mayfield cannot make that accurate 15 pass out. So you have to come up with a trick to get the ball in the hands of your best receivers. So teams are now figuring that out. They're game planning for just playing the run and pressing Baker Mayfield. We'll let Baker Mayfield throw on us and beat us. We'll live with that outcome, but we're not going to let you run on us, and we're not going to let you run trick plays on us. We're not going to let those trick plays work. So teams are starting to shut that down. Browns only scored 7 points last week, folks. Not good at all. I understand the Steelers defense is the best defense in the game, but I mean, are we just supposed to forgive that offensive performance because they played a good defense? Like, is that what we're supposed to do? Oh, they played a good team. We have to give them no. We know you're trash now because you weren't even competitive against the good teams. I don't care what you do against the mediocre teams. I truly do not care. It's all about beating the best teams. It's all about winning any given Sunday. And if you're just beating the Bengals and the Jets and the in the Washington and Giants and all those teams that are bottom of the barrel, I don't care what you do. So Browns, they have to win this game, but they're kind of in the same boat that the Bills are in. Okay, you beat the Bengals. Okay, you beat the Jets. It's just kind of an inside the team momentum building game. I don't even know if the Browns can win this game. With how poor their performance was last week, they probably do kind of come out on fire and with a little bit more energy. This Bengals offense isn't really kind of consistent, so you really don't know what you're getting week to week, but they're at home, and they're going to be looking for a win here against the Browns. I like the 3.5 here. Bengals plus 3.5. I think it's a lot to give up for the home team, and the Browns have been so inconsistent offensively. Not ready to trust Baker Mayfield. I mean, they got offensive weapons, don't get me wrong. When Baker Mayfield can get the ball to them, and when Kevin Stefanski can scheme successfully trick plays to get the ball into Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry's hands, I mean, we saw what they did against the Cowboys. You know, they were magnificent. They put up the points, and they were looking good defensively as well, but you know, we know how bad the Cowboys are, truthfully. So, you know, every week that the Cowboys play, that Browns win, their signature win on the season is looking less and less and less more signature as the season progresses. And Baker Mayfield is really just kind of agreeing with that stat as I break my pen. Truly unfortunate. Great pen. Rip pen. But anyway, not liking the Browns here. I absolutely love the 3.5. Truthfully, this would probably be, if I had a third category in my picks, it would be 98% guarantee, and I think I would put the Bengals in that situation. Give me the 3.5 here, and I'll rock with it. The home team with the points, I usually love it. You're giving me plus 3.5 with the home team, absolutely love it. And I don't buy the Browns. I don't buy Baker Mayfield. All right, here we go. Panthers and Saints, and this one is a little bit of a rocky, had a little bit of a rocky road this week. So it opened up at 7.5. Saints minus 7.5, and we liked it. We loved it. We took it minus 7.5. And then 2 days ago, last night, whenever it broke, Emmanuel Sanders is not playing because of COVID. Truly, truly unfortunate. And Michael Thomas is not playing once again. Truly unfortunate. But let's break down this game a little bit more in depth. Now, the Saints, they absolutely love Michael Thomas. I get it. He's their best receiver. Drew Brees loves getting the ball to him, no doubt. So him being out, yes, it's definitely going to hurt the Saints a little bit, but he's been out before, and they've managed. Michael Thomas, he's kind of had this nagging injury where it keeps him sidelined for a game or 2 weeks in a row. We know this about Michael Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders, on the other hand, I don't think this is going to be too much of a hit on the Saints, in my opinion. Drew Brees has not been getting the ball to Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, he just hasn't. So, they're not missing much with him being out. Although I want him, I'm an advocate for Emmanuel Sanders every week. I'm telling Drew Brees, if you don't have Michael Thomas, he's the replacement. You go to him. Even when you have Michael Thomas, you should be going to Emmanuel Sanders at least 5 times a game, at least. But he hasn't been doing that. The one time they do that, they win big. And I mean, there is a coincidence between those two things that I just said. So the Saints missing Emmanuel Sanders, I don't think it's going to, go too much against them. The Saints are coming off of a bye. They're going to know what they want to do. They know that they probably weren't going to have Michael Thomas in this week, during the bye, so they probably didn't practice with him. They probably, were, expecting Emmanuel Sanders to play this week, so yeah, that one's going to hit them a little bit harder than Michael Thomas, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, they don't really get the ball to Emmanuel Sanders anyway. So, Saints coming off of a bye. This Panthers team, I don't think is as good as their record would say. They're kind of just beating the mediocre to, below average teams. Now they're on the road here against the Saints, who just had an extra week off. They are coming off their bye. It's Drew Brees. I expect them to kind of run Alvin Kamara into the ground. The run game, the screen game, the quick pass game, he's going to have to do it all with their top 2 receivers being out, but it's Drew Brees at home, and I think they get it done. I still like the minus 6.5. I still like the minus 7. I still like the minus 7.5, even without Michael Thomas and even without Emmanuel Sanders. I'm liking Drew Brees to get it done here off the bye. And just the Panthers, they're just such a big question mark to me. We try to watch them in our film study, and I just don't get it. I just don't get them. Not ready to buy Matt Rule just quite yet. He's doing a decent job. He's got 3 wins, so I have to give him a little bit of credit. Teddy Bridgewater is winning games kind of without any real weapons. They don't have Christian McCaffrey, and they don't really have any great wide receivers. Their defense is getting it done kind of, but this Saints defense, I think, is going to wreck Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater was with the Saints last season, so they know what Teddy Bridgewater can and can't do. That's going to be huge. You don't think Sean Payton was literally going back this entire extra week and being like, all right, what did we not call because Teddy Bridgewater cannot throw? All right, we didn't call that, so they're probably going to call this. This is what he's good at. Okay, so we're going to overload the right side because he likes to throw to the right, and he can't make that kind of 15-yard throw out route. We know he can't make that, so we're going to press him a little bit because everything is 10 yards or less. All right, this is the perfect defense to combat Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is going to have such an advantage by knowing the Saints offense because they can change it on a dime, especially with the bye week. They're going to be like, all right, usually, this sign means we've, all 4 verticals, but this week we're going to switch it up because Teddy Bridgewater knows that this means all out. So this one's actually going to mean screenplay, and it's going to throw off everything, and it really should go to the house. So I think the Saints know what Teddy Bridgewater is going to do. They know his limitations, and they will exploit those limitations where Teddy Bridgewater really doesn't have that same power to try and overload the Saints, unfortunately. But I love the Saints here, -6.5, coming off the bye at home, lesser team, division game. Saints trying to get back on track, and everybody's counting them out now. That and look at this, as we're talking, people are using our voice in live betting. I mean, this just jumped from Saints -6.5 to Saints -7 as we're talking up the Saints, folks. People are listening. People are listening. That's truly funny. But yeah, the Saints -7. I think it's a great bet, even without their 2 wide receivers. Do not let that affect it. Love the Saints here. Love them big. Alrighty, Falcons and Lions. This spread has kind of been going up and down all week. I think it started at or opened up at Falcons -2.5. Now it's falling all the way to Falcons -1. And I mean, this Falcons offense is good, folks. I've been a big proponent of this, or big supporter, big sponsor of this Falcons offense. Really in the beginning of the season, the 2 things that I kind of called that, kind of seem right, even though they haven't gotten a lot of attention in the national media, is Steelers being very, very good and Falcons having a very, very great offense. We're not paying attention to their record at all. I don't care what their record is. I want to know what their points is looking like and how they're winning, and I like what I'm seeing. I like Matt Ryan. He's doing a decent job. Some concerns of him not being clutch, but that's kind of what we know about Matt Ryan. We've already had those kind of thoughts about him. But their weapons are absolutely fantastic. Julio Jones' first game back last week, and he has 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards receiving. Todd Gurley is slowly but surely getting there, as a main rushing opponent. Calvin Ridley is absolutely magnificent. Love what he's doing. And Matt Ryan, he's got a great arm. Nobody's doubting this man's arm. It's just kind of what he's doing in the clutch time. Some bad turnovers, some throwing plays where he probably shouldn't have thrown it, but does that really fall on Matt Ryan or the head coach or the offensive coordinator? So, without Dan Quinn being there, this Falcons offense scored 40 last week. I absolutely love it. Now they're at home. They're going to be feeling even more comfortable. I'm looking for this offense to kind of just run without a hitch. They're in this substitute teacher mentality. Their second game, I don't really think they tune it down a little bit. The interim head coach, I'm forgetting his name, but he's doing a pretty good job. I mean, you go and put up 40 points, losing your head coach. I mean, you have to bring, team camaraderie up. You've got to bring their momentum up, their heart, their soul. You've got to buy all into that when you're the head coach. You've got to get teams or players prepared. So that's a huge green flag for the interim head coach to go and score 40 points on the road. Absolutely fantastic. So you love to see it. So I love Atlanta here. I'll take the -1. We locked it in at Texans or Falcons -2.5 in our 99% guarantee column. I'm still big on the Falcons. Nothing's changed from Friday to today. Calvin Ridley's good to go. Julio Jones is good to go. Todd Gurley's good to go. So really, this should really be Falcons pretty big. Let me knock on wood. But I don't really like how the Lions are playing. Yes, they're kind of getting out to hot starts, but when we're looking at it, it's a lot of third down pickups that you can't rely on 100% on. It's a lot of penalties on bailouts. So I mean, they're not always going to get those calls going their way. Yes, they're scoring on their first possession. That's very good, but it doesn't look pretty all the time, and we've been looking at them, and that's why we just can't buy this Detroit team. Not really sure how I feel about Matt Patricia. Matt Stafford's on his last leg. They have Adrian Peterson. He's definitely on his last leg. I mean, that's what they've got going on, and that's kind of how they play. And I expect big changes coming out of Detroit this season or next season where they get rid of Matt Stafford, they get rid of Matt Patricia, and they literally start over in Detroit, even though they've been trying to start over for the last 10 years because they have not been competitive. Unfortunate. But the Falcons here do not just focus on their record, folks. Focus on how they're playing. We've been talking, good things about them literally the entire season. They're just not winning games. They're blowing leads. That's what happened. But this is a new team. We have to start talking about the 1-0 Falcons, the 0-1 Packers, and the 1-1 Texans. This is kind of a new season for each of those teams individually. So I think I like the Falcons here at home. all that good stuff. The offense is great. All right, let's continue on. Dallas and Washington. Dallas is unfortunately in the same boat as Bills and who was the other team? The Bills and the Browns. Do we really even care if you win this game? It's against Washington. You guys haven't been playing well. Your defense has been atrocious, and Andy Dalton did not even look good, and Ezekiel Elliott's still fumbling. So if you beat Washington, congratulations. You beat Kyle Allen. Congratulations. You beat Washington, who's won one game and who has literally nobody offensively or defensively in their best. Player is not even a player, it's a coach. Ron Rivera is the best asset of the Washington football team, and they're still kind of being competitive in games. Almost beat the Giants last week, but now they have the Cowboys. We'll see how Andy Dalton plays. I expect him to be kind of the same with what he did last week. They asked him to throw it 50-plus times because Zeke was fumbling. Hopefully Zeke can kind of take leadership because he is now the best player on that team. He is the clear number one scoring option on that team now that Dak is gone. So I hope Cowboys kind of just stick to a more running game plan. We'll see how kind of all those comments about how Mike McCarthy is as a coach and doesn't understand, any football IQ, and these coaches don't know what they're doing and they're so unprepared. We'll see how those comments affect them. I mean, if the Cowboys come out here and once again lay a goose egg and they get blown out by 30. If Kyle Allen goes and throws 30 touchdowns, puts up 30 points on this Cowboys team, I mean, that would be the Giants and Washington both putting up 30-plus points on this defense. It's truly trash. We'll see how the offense rolls, but a lot of question marks surrounding Cowboys. They'll get no credit if they win, and they'll get a ton of crap if they lose. It's just an unfortunate place to be. But we'll try to focus just on how well they're playing, and we'll see if the Cowboys can try to make that next step. But I don't think with Mike McCarthy being the head coach that they can do that. I don't think Mike McCarthy can get this Cowboys team ready to play. I mean, he hasn't. So, I mean, until he starts showing us something, we're not going to believe into it because it's stupid to believe in something that hasn't proven itself, proven it can do something, shown it can do something. So until the Cowboys can start doing it, we're not buying them. Washington, we'll see they couldn't do anything against the Giants last week. They probably could do something against the Cowboys this week because the Cowboys' defense is so bad. But either way, both these teams are not good. We really don't care about it. They're fighting for their own division, and whoever wins that division will be last place in the playoffs. So it really wouldn't matter anyway. But they're having their own internal fight for pride, and we'll see how it comes out. But I don't like Mike McCarthy. I'm advocating for Jerry Jones to fire him. To be honest, they got to get rid of him. Reports are still coming out from the Green Bay days, leaking over to the Cowboys now. Not even a full year into Mike McCarthy's tenure with the Cowboys, folks, and already stories about him having a low IQ and not being prepared are surfacing 7 weeks into his first year, folks. That's a very big red flag. It's a huge red flag. I wouldn't even be able to carry myself. I would not be able to raise and fly Mike McCarthy's red flag. I need more help. I need some more support to carry this giant red flag. But Mike McCarthy's got to be fired. Alrighty, here we go. Bucs and Raiders. This is going to be a good game too, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on this Raiders team. All right, I think. Am I overbuying the Raiders? Maybe, but I think I have a good reason to. Let's go back to 2 weeks ago when they faced the Chiefs, shall we? I absolutely loved how the Raiders won. They came on the road and outscored the Chiefs at home. How many times has that been done? I think Tom Brady did that. I think Tom Brady's like literally the only one, and he did it pretty good because I think it was in the AFC Championship game. Am I remembering correctly? About 4 years ago when the Chiefs were just knocking on the door of getting to the Super Bowl. I believe they're at home for that AFC Championship game, and the Patriots outscored them in overtime, I believe. I don't know, but either way, Raiders here, they put up 40 in Arrowhead. That's amazing. This Raiders team is a high-powered offense. They've got speed, and Derek Carr can deliver deep balls accurately. It's a strength of his. John Gruden seems to be just bringing in a lot of speed offensively and defensively, and it is working. And not only is this Raiders team very good, high-flying offense, and they can put up 40 points, and they can do it against the Chiefs, but they're good at running out the game. I mean, look at this. When they faced The Chiefs had their explosive play that you can always account for. It's always going to come at some point in the game, and it came here right towards the end of the game with 5 minutes left. I should say 4 minutes and 25 seconds left. I really should say 4 minutes, pretty much exactly left in the game, and the Chiefs go and score a touchdown and really make it a one-possession game, 40-32 now. And what do the Raiders do? Well, with 4 minutes left, you expect people to just try to pick up the first down and don't get it, and then you leave Patrick Mahomes with 2 minutes left, and then he goes down and drives down the field, ties up the game, and then wins it in overtime. We've seen that story written over and over and over again. We've seen it with Patrick Mahomes. We've seen it with Tom Brady. We've seen it with Russell Wilson. We've seen it with Aaron Rodgers. We know how this story gets played, but what did the Raiders just do? Well, they kept the ball for the remaining 4 minutes. Look at that. Picked up the first down. 1st and 10, 2nd and 6. They pick it up. 1st and 10, 2nd and 8, 3rd and 3 with 2 minutes left. 4th and 1 with 2 minutes left, but they go for it on 4th down, and then they pick it up, and they still are driving, and then they can just kneel out the clock. So look at them milking out that remainder 4 minutes. You don't see that too often. You see a lot of teams. We saw it with the Chargers when the Chiefs faced the Chargers week 3. The Chargers were up big, but then the Chiefs came back in the 4th quarter, and the Chargers just cannot run out the ball. The Raiders do it here, and that's why I think this is great success. That's great coaching. That's great. Everybody buying in, everybody doing their part. Derek Carr doing his part, running back doing his part just to pick up the first down. You love to see it. So I think a lot of people are not giving the Raiders the respect. They're coming off of a bye. They're at home. I get it. The Bucs are good. It's Tom Brady. This Bucs defense absolutely killed Aaron Rodgers last week. I get it. But Tom Brady has shown, big ups and downs this season. The downs came a little bit earlier. He seems to be cleaning them up, but until he goes about 3-4 weeks without a mistake, thinking it's going to come back, kind of what Josh Allen does. I mean, we saw a couple mistakes early. Looked like he was cleaning it up a little bit, but then last week they weren't competitive. So Bucs on the road. Not a huge fan of it. I do like the Bucs defense, but Tom Brady is only focusing on getting his ball to his tight ends and running backs. He's not looking at the big play, even though they just signed Antonio Brown. I really don't get why. You're not even throwing to Mike Evans, so why are you throwing to Antonio Brown? What is going on? But Tom Brady says, give me all the receivers that I won't throw to. They're good goal line options, I guess, but Raiders, who I think are very good offensively, not comparable overall, but I mean, they find out ways to score. You love to see it. They've got speedy talent all over them, and Derek Carr's got a big arm. I think Derek Carr's arm is better than Tom Brady. Am I speaking blasphemous? In 2020, I would say Derek Carr's arm is stronger than Tom Brady's. I'll say that. So I like the Raiders here, +4. They're at home, all that jazz. This game actually got flexed out of. This was supposed to be the Sunday night football game. It gets flexed out for Cardinals Seahawks, which I'm definitely fine with. I'm cool with that. But I like the Raiders here, +4, absolutely. They might not win, but you're getting me the home team with points. That should be the narrative this week, folks. Home teams with points. You got to love it. 4 here for the Raiders. I think it's enough. We'll go Raiders here, +4. We'll see, this is a huge week for the Raiders. Win against the Chiefs, then a bye. Now this is, your next time playing, coming off that huge win. So we'll see if they float or flounder. I think they float. I think they excel, and I think they're competitive. It's close. They could win, but I like the +4 here. Alrighty, Chiefs and Broncos. Chiefs, obviously, they just got Le'Veon Bell. He's going to be playing today. Look for the read option. Look for the misdirection with him and Patrick Mahomes. It's going to come. Broncos, not going to be ready for it. Not ready to see Drew Lock. This Chiefs defense isn't as good as the Patriots defense, so the Broncos probably aren't going to be restricted to field goals every drive. So expect the Broncos to score probably more than 18 points, but this Chiefs team with the new weapon, expect Andy Reid to really exploit it and have fun with it and kind of open it up. Andy Reid is literally a guy with a ton of money that just buys a Ferrari to go 200 miles an hour. That's why he got Patrick Mahomes. That's why he has all those speedy running backs last year. That's why they get Le'Veon Bell, folks. So a new toy. Look for Andy Reid to run him into the ground. Because they don't really need him. He's just a luxury piece for them. So, yeah, why not? If we can win 2 games because of him, we'll win 2 games because of him. That's Andy Reid's my mentality, in my opinion. So I like the Chiefs here. -7 is a little much for a road team, but, the Chiefs, they've got the speed for it. It may hurt the Chiefs a little bit with the mile-high air. We see a lot of teams struggle with the conditioning up there. So maybe the 7 here with the Broncos. I'm not taking this game. It really could go either way. But, I mean, however you decide to bet it, if you want the points, take the points. 7's a lot. Broncos at home. Chiefs rely on speed and conditioning, and they have to go up to mile high. They're used to it. Denver's used to it. Chiefs are not. So, hey, maybe the 7 can play. Maybe the 7 can play. I think I like the 7 now because of that mile high narrative. I think I like it. We're going to go Broncos, our exclusive. Are you ready for this? An exclusive live bet here. Broncos +7 is the move. It's endorsed. We like the mile high air to help the Broncos kind of cool the hot Chiefs team that can run down the field whenever they want. So we're going to go Broncos +7, and this is a live stream endorsed bet. How about that? Alrighty, if you're lucky enough, if you're here, you're here. I'm not going to tweet it out. I'm not going to say it for the rest of the day. If you know, you know, and you know if you're here. So Broncos +7. I will support this. Alrighty, 20 minutes out, a couple more games to go. Let's keep on moving. Here we go, Jaguars and Chargers. Love the Chargers here. There's a story that broke this morning that Gardner Minshew is on the hot seat, folks. So what is that going to do? Is that going to ignite Gardner Minshew? Probably not. I mean, this Jags team were pretenders. They won week 1. Everybody was like, the Minshew magic is continuing. No, it never does, folks. Those, quarterbacks do not translate from season to season when they get hot starts. Gardner Minshew. We've seen Kyle Allen. I mean, folks, you don't get, if you have a nickname, you're not going to be good next year. Sorry, Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic, Gardner Minshew Magic, Kyle Allen. I don't even know what his was. Super Kyle, I don't even know. Super Allen, it was something stupid, I'm sure. That's why I can't remember it. But, I mean, their games don't translate year to year. They're, one-hit wonders. They're backups. That's what they do. They win the big game. They make you fall in love with them, but then they crumble, in, the regular games because that's what backup quarterbacks do. They thrive off that adrenaline, that momentum, and then once it's gone, the magic is gone. So Jaguars are feeling that where the Chargers just got their franchise quarterback. Chargers don't have a quarterback problem where the Jacksonville Jaguars do. Chargers coming off of a bye. Chargers looking for their first win here with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert officially being named the starter. Of course he was. There was never a doubt in my mind. It was a non-story. But with the head coach saying it, they're going to be adding more plays for Justin Herbert. What can Justin Herbert do? He can throw the ball down the field. We saw it against Tom Brady, but then they try and get then they go a lot conservative with the dink and dunk. But with the extra week, they installed new plays, big plays down the field for Justin Herbert, and he's going to execute them here against Jacksonville. Not a great offensive team, not a great defensive team. Chargers looking for wins. They've had 4 straight losses, I believe, since going to Justin Herbert. They've been in games but haven't won one yet. I expect them to get their first win with Justin Herbert here tonight. Yeah, love the Chargers here -7.5 at home off a bye. Justin Herbert's first win comes tonight, folks, and it's going to be a big one. Just can't buy the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew playing for his life, and I do not expect him to really float. I expect that man to flounder. Alrighty, Patriots and 49ers. Already, Cam not looking good last week, but we're going to attribute that to him having COVID. I don't know how I would perform if I had COVID and then had to go and play a game 2 weeks later. I don't know how I would fare either. But the Patriots couldn't do anything offensively. Cam Newton was throwing interceptions, not able to kind of sustain drives. He'd pick up a first down and then kind of flounder for the rest of the drive, and then they have to punt. But their defense was holding the Broncos to field goal, and then a field goal, and then another field goal, and then another one, and another one, until they got to 18 big points, and that was enough to beat the Patriots last week. Where the 49ers, they got their starters back, and they're like, hey, we're going to play an entire game, and we're going to win the game. And that's what they did. They didn't get benched in the first half because they were getting sacked and throwing picks and getting absolutely destroyed. That didn't happen last week. So the 49ers got back on track, and the Patriots are looking to get back on track. I don't think Cam's going to have any too much difficulty this week. I expect Josh McDaniels to, come up with a pretty simple game plan for this offense to get them free yards that they couldn't get last week. I expect Cam Newton to play a little bit better this week. having, another week recovered from COVID, feeling good, still at home, huge for Cam and this Patriots team. Not sure how the 49ers are going to travel. This starting offense, this injury-riddled 49ers team, from the offense to the defense, we can't even be buying into them until they're all healthy, and that's not going to be until literally the end of the season. So we really can't bet the Niners anytime until they fully get healthy and we see what they actually are. Until they start stringing along good performances together, we stay away from the 49ers, and we have to stay away from the Patriots. We're staying away from this game totally because I believe Cam Newton's going to have a good game, but he also could not, and I'm not ready to buy him until he proves that he can get back to that week 1, week 2 kind of Cam that was looking pretty decent. So if we have to take the game, we're going to take the points. Give me the points. If you're ever unsure, you take the points. You take them. 3s here is a lot. So we'll believe Cam Newton plays well. But I think the 49ers have a decent team, and I think they're more talented than the Patriots, but the Patriots have the better coach, and they're at home. Cam Newton, as long as he's, being manageable, a game-managing quarterback, they can be competitive, and they can try and win this game. Don't like the -3 here at all, though. Truthfully, I do not. Alrighty, Seahawks and Cardinals. This is going to be a primetime game now. This was supposed to be 4 o'clock kickoff, but now we get, Russell Wilson in another primetime game. And I think I like the Seahawks here, -3.5. I cannot buy Arizona. These last 2 weeks, they haven't faced anybody really good. The Jets, the Cowboys, nothing too special. Kyler Murray threw 33% last week, and they won the game. That's not going to fly against Seattle. You can't do that. So they're still trying to force DeAndre Hopkins the ball. It doesn't work all the time. Yes, it works against the Jets and the Cowboys because their defense are both truly trash, but the Seahawks defense is a little bit better. Russell Wilson will cash in on your mistakes, your turnovers. He will cash those in for at least 3 points, if not 7. He will cash those in. He knows he's a veteran quarterback, he's Super Bowl winning quarterback, and a Super Bowl MVP. He knows how to cash in on turnovers. Kyler Murray throwing 33% last week and still trying to think he's good. I don't really know. I'm not ready to buy this Cardinals team yet. They beat the Cowboys, not surprising. They blew the Cowboys out once again, not surprising. What was surprising is that Kyler Murray didn't look buttoned up and perfect. It's surprising that Kyler Murray didn't go 27 of 28 for 4 touchdowns and no picks, but he didn't do that. He threw 30%. Not great for 1 touchdown, I think. The running game saved him here. Cardinals at home, that's going to benefit them, but it's Russell Wilson. I think I like the Cardinals here, or I think I like the Seahawks here. Not sure how to play the spread. The 3.5 is trying to hook you. Maybe you take the 3.5 for the Cardinals. Just kind of ride it at home. I think that would be the best bet. Late switch. Cardinals, take the points. Take the points for the home team, and probably just cross your fingers that this half a point definitely helps you instead of hurts you. Alrighty, and that brings us to Monday Night Football. We'll talk about this game more tomorrow as well. But just quickly, and this spread is still climbing, and I love it. Bears plus 5.5. That's what it opened at, and we took it, and now it's Bears plus 6, folks. Nick Foles on primetime television performs decently. I'm not saying that the Bears win this game, but 6 points? Yes, absolutely. The Rams' offense has kind of been shoddy, and this Bears' defense is absolutely fantastic. So, that's a combo made in heaven. Rams' offense kind of inconsistent. They'll put up 17, they'll put up 30, they'll put up 16, they'll put up 24. Very shoddy. Got to get over 20 points every single game. Got to at least average 20 points a game. Have to see that. The Bears, they don't average 20 points a game either, but their defense keeps them in games. So the Rams are going to score a bunch. The Bears probably aren't going to score a bunch. The best things about these teams is pretty much their defense. Chicago's defense is better than their offense by a mile, and the Rams' defense is better than their offense by a little bit. Not too much, because I do like Jared Goff, and I do like his receivers. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, absolutely great receivers there. Who's their running back? New guy, because they got rid of Gurley. But either way, it's still working for the Rams. They're winning games. They're being competitive. But the 6 for the Bears, this defense is the staple for the Bears. They'll shut down the Rams. We can see that happening, absolutely. Then you give me 6 points. Nick Foles, primetime television. He's going to be serviceable. Matt Nagy on primetime television. He's going to be scheming. He's going to be trying to put a Band-Aid over Nick Foles, quarterback. He's going to be doing that. So he's going to try and want Nick Foles to get off to a good start. Want him high completion percentage. Expect a lot of dink and dunk, getting him comfortable. A lot of trick plays early. But look for the Bears here, +6. I think it's a fantastic bet. I think you're overvaluing the Rams a little bit and kind of very undervaluing Nick Foles on primetime TV. If this was just a 1 o'clock tip-off, kickoff, I would go probably Rams -6, but it's prime time. Nick Foles, he shows up in the big games. That's what backup quarterbacks do. They show up in the big games, Super Bowls, primetime TV games. We saw what Ryan Fitzpatrick did this season on Thursday Night Football. We saw what Daniel Jones is doing on primetime TV, competitive games. He went and beat the Cowboys. I mean, that's a big game in Dallas. I mean, folks, if you don't think teams and players step up in the big times, I think you're sadly mistaken. Look for Nick Foles tomorrow. I really love this bet, man. +6. Woof. Woof. +6. It's a ton. It's a ton. It's a ton. Alrighty, so that's going to be it for today. We'll see. We're 10 minutes out from kickoff. We'll see if anything's been breaking here as we've been live. Let's see what we've got. Let's see what we got. What is this? Nothing good. No news. What do we got from Colin? Too late, but took Saints in Blazing 5 after hearing of injuries. Would now replace it with Bucks. All right. We'd still keep it with the Saints here. Raiders could be fined more than $350,000 and get possible draft pick punishment for breaking COVID protocol. Wow. Titans were just fined $350,000 as well for what they did for their little outbreak. Unfortunate. But yeah, looks like everything is still scheduled to go. Nothing is breaking. We're 10 minutes out from kickoff. Absolutely fantastic. Right where we want to end. And I think that's it for today, folks. This is what we've got. Our moneymaker, here they are. takesbyfans.com/dailypicks. You can go and look what we've got every day. But this is what we're rocking with. If you want to make some money, I would bet all these games. They will all hit. And, we'll be live tweeting throughout the day. So follow me on Twitter @TakesByFans. Be a part of the conversation. Come watch live daily, noon Eastern, twitch.tv/TakesByFans. Go to our website. Everything about us is on the website. You can find whatever you're looking for. So without further ado, enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your slate of games. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully your favorite team wins. Mine's on a bye this week, so we can just kind of relax the entire week, and then we look forward to next week. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and, God bless your team today. God bless your team.